But with that, though, let's go ahead and talk about the top 5 wrestlers that I believe are going to break out this year. And I'm starting off with number 5, Trick Williams. It sounds crazy. I know. Trick Williams, North American champion, 2-time NXT champion. There's no way that he would be the breakout guy. But I think it actually makes a lot of sense because we all believe that Trick Williams is going to be like one of the next faces of WWE. If you actually have some faith in him. A lot of people don't believe he's going to be the face, though, and a lot of people believe that he's going to be a flop because of the fact that his mic, character, and ring skills just aren't really matching up to the aura. They're not really matching up to the hype, and a lot of people are actually downplaying them even more than they probably should because I don't think his mic skills are that bad. I think right now he probably is a 2 out of 5 on the mic, but that's not the worst because I think he's shown that ability to be a 4 out of 5 on the mic. I think he's shown that ability to be amazing in the ring, even though right now I think his mic, character, and ring work is all a 2 out of 5. I think he's had those glimpses, though, showing that he can be great. And I think what it might just be is that maybe he needs to just play the heel. Maybe he's not fit to be a face. Look at Randy Orton. Look at Roman Reigns. They both said these things coming up that they weren't ready to be a baby face, that it just wasn't for them. And so, like, when you look at those parts of their career, it looks really bad because you're like, this did not work at all. These guys clearly are not the guy that they're saying that they are. And I think the same thing might be true about Trick Williams as well. So I think he might have an actual breakout this year, very similar to how Roman and Randy had breakouts, even though they were like multi-time champions before ever breaking out. And I really hope that is the case for Trick Williams because I do like Trick Williams, man. I really like the aura. I absolutely love his entrance. I think he's a really, really cool dude. He also played for my Eagles as well for a minute. So, hey, man, shout out to my bad hitting the mic. Shout out to my dog, man. You know, you play with my team, man. I got a little bit of love for you, man. You know, I got a little bit of love for you. But I really do hope the best over Trick Williams. Like, obviously, Eagles fandom aside, I really do want to see him succeed because look at, man. I love seeing my black wrestlers succeed, all right, man? I love seeing them succeed. I want to see Trick Williams be the face of a company. I want to see Obafemi be a face of the company. I want to see Jade do amazing. I want to see Bianca do amazing. And I want to also see my other people as well, too, because I'm also Hispanic as well, so I want to see my luchadors doing their thing. I want to see Dominic Mysterio on top soon. But I think Trick Williams, you know, playing into this heel role may help him out so much than a lot of people thought. And he could always transition back to a face. Look at Roman Reigns. This guy was getting called a face this past year, even though he said, I ain't changed. I still want all the gold. I still want to be on top. The camera's mine. The ring is mine. That WWE Championship mine. All this is mine. Apparently, he's a face, though. Hey, but Daniel Bryan was a heel, though, right? All this dude wanted to do was save the world. Oh my gosh, man, y'all are so fickle. But I think Trick Williams, though, this is definitely gonna help him out, and he's gonna have a breakout year this year as he does transition into a heel. Now at number 4, we got Ludwig Kaiser. I think we're already starting to see a little bit of this breakout in a sense because, you know, we're starting to see him a lot more on the screen, and he's starting to look a little more competent in his matches and not just getting beat up every single dang time. And I'm glad that he was able to break away from Gunther. I think that's actually the start of his push, was that Gunther telling him, you need to go do things on your own. Go get it on your own and stop just always being around me. And I'm going to be real with you, man. Like a few others have said to me before, I think Ludwig is better than Gunther, man. I truthfully think he is. I think he has the mic work is better. I think the character work is a bit better. I think the ring work, in my opinion, is just a bit better as well. I want to see great things from Ludwig, man. I think he's somebody that could be like akin to a Miz, where he's just a multi-time mid-card champion, and that's where his Hall of Fame career is at. He might get a world champion or two. He might sneak one in there like how the Miz was able to do. But I think for the most part, he's going to be a multi-time IC champion, multi-time U.S. champion. Heck, maybe he's even somebody that could actually revive the U.S. championship as well and really bring some prestige back to it. I hope so, man, because Ludwig has it all, in my opinion. I think the only thing he just doesn't have is, like, he's not a super big, bulky dude, but I don't think he needs to bulk up. I think this slimmer build actually fits Ludwig a lot more, in my opinion, and I want to just continue seeing more from him. I think this feud with Penta has been really good. I think the feud with or the storyline with Pete Dunne has been really good. I don't know if it's a feud or not, whatever the heck it is. I think the feud with Sheamus was really good. The feud that he had also with Braun Breaker going into that was really dang good as well. So I do want to see Ludwig win, and honestly, I think what should happen is, I think Sheamus should be involved in this multi-man match at WrestleMania. I think he should win the IC title, and I think Ludwig Kaiser should take it off of him. Or we can go the route of Ludwig Kaiser, rolls up Sheamus, and this just breaks so many people's heart because everybody wants to see Sheamus be a Grand Slam champion, and that's how Ludwig becomes the new IC title champion. And then we get the feud with Ludwig and Braun, probably Ludwig and Sheamus as well. You would do that one. I think he should beat both of them in my opinion, and then maybe lose it to Sheamus down the line so that Sheamus can become like can become a Grand Slam champion, because that's actually going to do a lot for Ludwig as well. Because if Sheamus gets the Grand Slam championship on Ludwig, every time we talk about, how did Sheamus become a Grand Slam champion again? Oh, he beat Ludwig. That helps him so much more because it just keeps his name as relevant as possible. So when you want to give him another IC title championship run, or you potentially want to give him a World Heavyweight Championship run, his name is still being brought up so he doesn't get lost in the sauce like a lot of other wrestlers do. So I think Ludwig Kaiser 2025 is going to have a big breakout this year, akin to one Bronson Reed of last year. And at number 3, I got B-Fab, man. She's getting a match against Charlotte Flair next Friday. I think that this is going to be the start of her breakout. Obviously, she's going to lose this match. I don't think she wins at all. I think Chelsea Green and them might even get involved as well. But I think that B-Fab is going to get a semi-push this year to see what they have with her. And I think the mic work, it's definitely there. The character work, it's pretty dang good. The ring work, it's improving. And I think with a little semi-push, maybe she could even go back down to NXT, get maybe like the NXT Women's North American Championship, and then go back up to WWE within like the next year or two, and maybe start getting a push for that mid-card title. Maybe get a push for that US Championship, for that IC Championship. Maybe she even gets like in a World Championship picture. She probably won't win it unless she does extremely improve, but if that's the case, I am here for B-Fab, man. Maybe not the name. I don't like the name too much. Or maybe we could change that name up a bit. Maybe we even get like this whole big old heel turn where she changes her name up or something like that. The name just doesn't really do it for me, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like it, but I do think, though, that she has a really big chance of being a breakout star this year and being somebody that just shows, kind of similar to Meechin and Chelsea Green, that there is a lot more than just the top of Nia Jax and Charlotte Flair and Bianca Belair and Alexa Bliss and all these others and Naomi, that, there is some women in this lower to mid-card tier that, can do some things as well, that are very talented as well. And I think B-Fab is one of those women. So maybe she doesn't even need to go down to NXT. Maybe she could easily just stay up on the main roster and eventually get that push. Although I think going down to NXT would help would help out more with just like the aura sense of things and be able to really, elevate her to a height that she starts getting a big push behind her, similar to how like Cora Jade went to TNA and got like a big push behind her. I think the same thing could happen with B-Fab. Send her back up to the main roster, and boom, now she's one of your like mid-card stars. So I see great things from B-Fab this year. She's had pretty dang good matches against Chelsea Green. I think she's had probably the best matches that are non-stipulation matches or non-gimmicky matches against Chelsea Green, obviously, because I feel like Meechin's had the best matches when it comes to gimmicks. Meechin is like a gimmick. She a gimmick merchant, man, because you put her in a gimmicky match, it's top tier. You put her in a regular match, it's not the greatest, especially that stupid long back attack. I think it's really, really bad. But I want to see big things from B-Fab this year, and I think it's going to happen. At number 2, though, we got one Brian Keith, the Bad Apple himself, is going to go back to the Bounty Hunter. I think he's going to finally turn on one Chris Jericho. It's long overdue, in my opinion. I think he's going to also be the next Ring of Honor World Champion. And maybe with this big old turn, if he does do it on Ring of Honor, it's just going to help out Ring of Honor so much, because the company more or less has just been kind of dead over the past few years. Athena is really carrying it on her back. Like when we talk about wrestlers carrying a company on their back, Athena, oh my gosh, dude, we need to somebody needs to give them her spine, because I just know that hers is like gone to it has just been destroyed, man. I think it's just been disintegrated. I don't even know how she's still walking, but she has been carrying it. So I think getting a big Brian Keith turn on Chris Jericho and turning him back into a face and allowing him to be the bounty hunter and allowing him to kind of run Ring of Honor in a sense along with Athena, that's going to be so dang good for him, man. And I think he's someone that's extremely talented, dude. The Will Ospreay match that I seen this past week, he had a match with Bandito as well. Like, he is just somebody that's so underutilized that I want to see great things from. I think his mic work and his character work are absolutely phenomenal as well. I really feel like this dude has it all. Like, I think he's one of the guys in AEW that his mic work is top tier, man. It really, really is. And his character work is just as good, in my opinion. I think he's like a 4 out of 5 on the mic right now, dude. he's just someone I want to see a big push from, man. He's similar to me for like Billy Starks. I think they're just both so dang phenomenal, and they're kind of just being like, underutilized right now. Well, Billy Starks is actually being utilized a bit more, but I feel like he just has it all, and he's only like 32 years old, so I feel like he still has a lot of time to continue to develop into whatever they think that they need him to develop into. But I think he could be like a breath of fresh air for Ring of Honor, and he'll obviously appear more on Ring of Honor, so he'll have the champion actually there, being able to be shown off, having great matches against people, going up against the likes of Bandito, the likes of Lee Moriarty, the likes of Shane Taylor, the likes of whoever the heck else is on there. I don't really remember everybody else that's on Ring of Honor, I'm going to be honest with you. I think there's someone named Blake Martin. No, like Blake something, man, or Caleb something. I don't know, man. I really don't know, to be honest. Again, I don't watch much Ring of Honor. I'm gonna be real with you, man. I really just watch it for Athena and Billy Starks, and that's about it. But I do want to see Brian Keith become the next Ring of Honor World Champion, turn on Chris Jericho, and I think it does happen this year, because I think it's got to happen, man. Like, who else is going to dethrone Chris Jericho? I don't think it's going to be Jon Moxley, although I did make a video in the back in the day that if Jon Moxley was to get turned on, if Jon Moxley was to do anything after the AEW World Championship, it could be potentially reviving One Ring of Honor. Kind of similar to how like Nick Nemeth and Mustafa Ali did by going to TNA. I won't say like it needed revival by any means, because it was starting to get on the up and up because of Jordan Grace, but that men's division really needed something, and they breathed a breath of fresh air into it. So maybe Jon Moxley could be that guy that goes there. But I think I'd rather see Brian Keith be the guy that turns on Chris Jericho and then eventually gets that Ring of Honor World Championship. Now, speaking of Ring of Honor, I actually just mentioned her name, Billy Starks. I think this is a super big year for Billy Starks. I believe she's going to get a match against Mercedes Moné. It's going to be a phenomenal match. If you watch the Hammerstein match against Athena at Final Battle, it was just absolutely phenomenal. That main event was just beautiful. I think Billy Starks has every single thing it takes to be a top-tier wrestler within the women's division, and just be one of the pillars going forward. She's only like 21 years old. I think she has so much time to grow. Her mic work and her character work are only getting better every single time I see her. And like I said, her ring work is just phenomenal, man. I think right now she's probably like a 3.5 out of 4, like 3.5 to 4 in the ring. I think for the most part, she's like, when she goes up against like the likes of Athena or any like top women competitors, she looks phenomenal. She can match them. When she goes up against the lesser ones, that's where it's like, starts looking a little iffy. But I think Billy Starks has it all, and now we're starting to see her on AEW more. I think that's starting to kind of show us that, she probably is going to get a little bit of a push. You're bringing it to the show really before you even bring Athena to the show. But I do think this also leads to Athena and Mercedes Moné having a big old feud as well. But yeah, no, I am just super excited for the future of Billy Starks, man, because I have a lot of stock invested into her. I think she's going to be phenomenal. I think she's going to be a great women's world champion someday, whether she remains in Ring of Honor, whether she goes to AEW or goes up to AEW, whether she transfers companies to like a WWE or TNA, wherever she goes. I think she has future world champion written all over her, and I'm super excited to see the future of one Billy Starks.